for Katie Chats here in downtown Toronto with writer-director ALEX Boothby of Mr. Viral. You're screening at the Canadian Film Festival coming up. What initially inspired the making of this project?
Oh, well, it's somewhat autobiographical. Mr. Viral is a satire of the advertising world, and specifically about viral marketing. And I worked in the advertising world for probably about 10 years. So a lot of my observations there, I describe it as my revenge opus on some of the people I used to work with and for. But it's a very, very playful, albeit twisted take on the ad world. So, yeah.
You have some major, some great cast in this project. How did you go about casting it?
We went through the traditional channels. Our casting agent was Julianne Kay, and our lead is Jefferson Brown, along with Alex Appel, Christian Lloyd, Michael Ripley, and we have, there's just too many to mention. We actually have a cast of about 100 principal and actor roles, which as a Canadian tip production is very, very unusual. I think we set records for the actual sheer number of actor hours, and that's probably the thing we're most proud of on this film, is some of the performances are seriously out there, really dark but also endearing and very engaging. So yeah, that's the thing we want people to see.
What is the atmosphere like on set, and what's your directorial style?
Stressful and stressful. Yeah. I mean, the film was made under a very modest budget, and we were sort of masquerading as a big film. We shot in multiple cities. We shot in Toronto and Montreal. And there's even a couple of scenes in Cannes and in Hawaii, although we shot those on green screen. But because it was big and very complex, and we were constantly sort of under the eighth ball, but we had this really amazing crew of sort of new talent who's just breaking out there. I know you've interviewed Daniel Grant, who's our cinematographer, and right on down, like every member of the crew was sort of embraced the wackiness of the project and gave it their all. Nobody slept. It was one of those like massive favor grabs, like just a greedy, all-consuming, give me all your sweat and blood. And they did, and now I'm in debt, so yeah.
Tell me a little bit more about Mr. Viral and how he sort of intertwines these facilitates the intertwining of these three different storylines.
Certainly. Well, I can't tell you who Mr. Viral is because that's a character. It's a little bit of a bait and switch there. But the idea of the film, it's a triptych, so there's three storylines. And we constantly sort of balance between them. The main storyline features an agency war between two rivals. There's a douchebag agency creative who goes about making commercials the standard way, and he makes really, really bad ads and is in love with himself. And it's him versus this very, very dark, shady character. My brother describes him as like a Charlie Sheen character who takes it upon himself to save the agency in his very dark way by doing a secret viral marketing campaign. And it's kind of Fight Club-esque. He actually builds this underground following of freaks and weirdos by marketing his very family-oriented products in very dubious ways. But this saves the agency. So the central storyline is a war between those two characters. And then the other stories will take a while to describe. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how does it feel to be at the Canadian Film Festival and to be the closing night film?
Oh, we're thrilled. We love it. The Canadian Film Festival is kind of like a dream for us. It was actually like when we started to figure out all the festivals we wanted to apply to, that was just probably our number one for a number of reasons. One, it's a local Toronto Film Festival. Two, it features strictly or exclusively Canadian films. And three, the people involved are amazing. Vern Euler, who's created the film festival himself, he's making all the decisions in there, programming it, and just he's a huge rock star. I was introduced to it through a friend of mine and filmmaker Warren Sonoda, who's on the board, and he's part of the selection committee, and he's running a few panels. And it's got a very, very friendly environment. But to me, I just think it is the right festival at the right time. There is so many amazing indie Canadian films being made right now. It's exploding, actually. It's just, my mind boggles at how many amazing, like, new films that are coming out every year. And a festival like this is needed because it's a great opportunity to showcase your work. But simply, I think a lot of these films deserve to be seen. And not just because they're Canadian, but a lot of them are just amazing. So.
And will you be there doing a Q&A as well?
Yes, although I'll have nothing further to say. I'll just play this video.
Okay. And how do you expect audiences to respond to the film?
That'll be a mixed bag. The tone of the film is what I would describe as awkward, uncomfortable comedy, or tense, dark comedy. It's inspired by certain movies like After Hours, which is the tensest comedy ever made. So when we played at the Calgary International Film Festival, a woman at the back asked a question. It wasn't a question, it was a statement. And she was probably in her 60s or 70s, and she said, "I found the movie very disturbing." And then we all said, "Thank you." Yeah. We wanted to make a film that had a lot of substance that you could really savor, and there was a lot going on, but at the same time still very entertaining.
And where's the best place to find out more information on you and the film and the Canadian Film Festival, which is running from March 20th to March 23rd online?
Our website is mrviral-movie.com. You can also just look us up on Facebook. Just type in Mr. Viral and it'll come up. And the Canadian Film Festival's website is canfilmfest.ca. Yes, they run from the 20th to the 23rd. Our movie is playing on Saturday, March 23rd at 8:30 p.m. And right afterwards, there's a festival wrap party, which will be a lot of fun. Yeah.
Well, we'll have to check it out at the Royal Cinema on College Street. Thank you so much. Congratulations, and best of luck with the film.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm Katie Allman reporting for Katie Chats here in downtown Toronto.